You are now tuned in to the Project 365 experience.
But again, thank you for taking the call. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, so I have to give you your proper introduction. So we in Quebec, we do not have a lot of coaches who get to do this full time. You're one of the rare people that get to do this full time, right?
Yeah.
You coach at the collegiate level, you coach at the high school level. Right now you are coaching a summer team, right? Which is prospects, right? Montreal prospects, lady prospects, right? Over 27 years of experience in the province, just involved with different sectors, whether it's what we call Espoir Quebec, right? Is Espoir, Coach of the Year in 2018. Right? Coach of the Year. You're a provincial champ. You got a gold medal with your juvie team. I mean, Coach Webster, thank you for taking the call. Thank you. And I'm excited we finally able to get this going.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's start off with just a little something. You were saying, talking to me, you were just explaining like coaching is like breathing for you. Like what do you mean by that?
Coaching is like what I mean is like, to me, coaching is, when I was an athlete, it was basketball is like breathing. Coaching is like breathing, is the same thing. When I'm talking about breathing, it's like it's a natural thing for me to do. It's like it's not a job. I'm not forced to go do it. I don't wake up and say, "Oh, I have to go to coach." So anything in life sometimes is harder, but it doesn't mean I don't want to do it. So to me, it's natural. It's natural. I love to do it, and it's a way of life. It's like to me, sport is like life. Life is like sport. So that's why I made breathing.
Yeah, I think it's nice that you get to do it full time, because I think because I am from Montreal. I was able to coach a little bit in Montreal, and just like there's not like I said in the intro, there's not a lot of coaches that get to do this full time. So I'm sure that by you now being able to do this full time, you have a different perspective now on how, I'm sure your perspective has evolved over the years. But if there was one thing that you can go back and just tell your players or teach your players earlier, based on all this experience and you now having this opportunity to fully invest yourself in the kids, what would it be?
Like I always tell the kids, like, what they have now, I never had. I never had what they have now. I never had like 10 hours, 14 hours a week of basketball practice. The way I've done it, it was like going to the park, find somewhere in some gym, free gym to play, and then with my basketball practice, 2 times playing 2 teams. I have more basketball, not 2 teams because I have a luxury. I have 2 teams. It was more to have more basketball. So it's like what I would tell them now is like, if I could go back, it's maybe trying to have that kind of sport etude that we didn't have before. That was everywhere except here. Because when I was going to the States playing ball, they already have that. It was already there. It was already in the culture of the basketball. So that's one of the things I would like to change, because sometimes 2 practice, what we were saying, 3 started to be too much for the kids. But now we see them playing 5 times, 6 times during the week. It's pretty much different,
Yeah. Is there something that you've seen that like from now, because you made a valid point saying like, you being able to try to help them understand that what you had back then, but what you had back then, they have more than what you had back then. So is there like, how has basketball or just sports in general, how do you see it has changed compared to how it was back then?
Changed a lot. First, everybody's taller.
Everybody's
taller than I'm 6'3". I used to be tall.
It's a
now
big
6'3", you're a midget. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
6'3" midget. Where
Yeah.
I see some kid coming to my gym, they were like 12 years old, they were 5'10", and like now they're 6'10". At the 15, 17, they're 6'10". So the height is it's a big difference right now. I said everybody's tall.
Yeah.
Everybody's more skillful. More
Big
skillful.
skill.
Very.
Yep.
The game is faster, and the game has evolved in a certain way that because of some players in the NBA, like Steph Curry, shoot a lot of the 3 points.
Yeah.
It's not that because before there were still people shooting 3 points, but not like it's a layup now.
Yeah.
Like everybody
Yeah.
shoots. Everyone wants to shoot.
Yeah. The
So,
first thing that the players do when they come into the gym is shoot threes.
threes, yeah.
They don't do the layups.
No, they don't do layups. They don't do like they want to shoot threes. You know, it's like and
Yeah.
it's okay, but not everybody can shoot threes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's still a art. You have to work
Yeah.
it, you know, and there's different ways to work it. You're not always starting by threes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So did you find it hard to balance? Because now you're talking about two different generations, two different perspectives. Was it hard for you to kind of because transitioning along the time, like was it hard for you to kind of get like you almost had to open up your mind to okay, this is how the kids see the game? Because the way that when I talk with my coaches and when I talk with people that are from an older generation, they kind of say like they've seen the game from inside out. But now it's almost like the kids see it from outside in.
exactly.
So have you had a way that you're kind of like, okay, wow, I have to adapt myself to be able to do that, to be able to reach and communicate properly with these kids?
Like sometimes I do some drills. Like, like I put them on the spot.
Yeah.
A lot of time, coaches, what they do, they try to protect their players. And what I'm trying to do most of the time is trying to put them on the spot as early as I can.
Yep.
Because I like to shoot trees. Okay. Instead of saying you're not going to shoot trees, shoot trees.
Yeah.
Make them shoot trees. And they see how hard it is. It's not that simple coming to the gym and doing volume shooting. It's more than just doing volume shooting. You have to do mid range. You have to have the technical. You have to make not only the trees. You know, you have to go all around.
Yes.
You have to do some footwork. You need to understand your body, how it moves.
Yeah.
So it's all those little details that's very important that kids doesn't understand. So it's still like sometimes when they're playing defense, oh, I can guard her, I can guard him. There's no problem. And the guy's so quick and the girl's so quick.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, oh, you know what? She's not a good matchup. I'm going to give another matchup. No, I choose the matchup. You can't take her. You can take him. And then it's, oh, shit, it's really hard. I told you it's going to give you. So I'm trying to put them more in the spot.
Yeah.
That's the way I am. And sometimes it's just starting by the practice. You know, with the players, you change the plan, your matchup in the practice, see them and expose them to what they see. Because sometimes they don't understand. So I learned that through the years because before I was always protecting. No, you cannot do it. No, you cannot do it. No, it's hard. It's harder. You have to work more. But now what I do is like, okay, you can do it. Show me you can do it. You know?
Yeah.
When I see they don't do it, they come to you. Sometimes the confidence get down, but sometimes you need to destroy confidence to rebuild them up.
So
it's pretty much it. Sometimes work to make them see a different way. And I love inside outside.
I know
inside is hard. I always
I know.
Understand the ball have to go in first,
and then
want to block. That's where people want to go, close the gaps and everything, and from there we have opportunity from the outside. So I still keep my old school shit. Like you're still going inside. The ball have to go inside. The ball cannot not go inside. The ball cannot just move outside all the time. So I'm still that type of coach that's inside outside. Is key. And depending the years, you know, sometimes I got great shooters, and when I got great shooters, okay, I live with it. But I'm still trying to make them understand that, you're a great shooter. Imagine if we go inside, how much space you will have outside after that. You know,
it's funny that you're saying that because this is going to lead directly into the conversation that I wanted to have with you because we were talking like we wanted to get on here and just talk about defense a little bit. Right? Because you love defense. And talking about this, I'm realizing that there's a lot of offensive mentality that players have where it's like playing outside first before it goes inside, right? So has that affected your defensive mentality over the years? Like how are you what are the key points of your defense? What are you trying to
It always depend
look
on the
at?
teams. You know, we always study the teams against who we play. Okay, but my crest for my defense, it's all about energy. It's all about energy. It's all about being involved. We cannot
Mhm.
not be involved in defense. And when I'm talking being involved, I told them sometimes, if you don't know what you're doing, just be involved in something. Do whatever it is. If you feel lost, just be involved, and then I will be able to teach and tell you what to
Yeah,
do, not to do. But if you're just
yeah,
standing there and don't know what you're doing, no, I cannot help you. The
yeah.
bench will help you. You know what I'm saying? It's
Get
like,
involved.
but the bench will help you. But
Yeah.
it means to be involved. If we get
Uh-huh.
involved, we talk, we try to be involved. It's hard to make the kids talk. They don't want to talk. They don't want to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to
Communication is
find some
big.
tricks. Sometimes it's not always like, okay, you don't want to talk baseline. You don't want to. It's not
Yeah.
working anymore.
It's not
It's
working.
more.
Yeah.
It's more when I'm trying to work with them in defense. It's more about pride. Always talking about pride.
Right.
You need to have
Yeah.
pride of that. If this is our identity, we want to be a defensive team, then you have to be proud of it. And then we have
Yeah.
to work and to be involved in how we do it and how we worked. We need to be
Right.
more physical. We're a physical team. We like to be physical. We like to touch. And
Right.
we don't like to be touched, but we like to touch.
Yeah.
You know
We
what I'm
got
saying? Like,
it. Yeah. Yeah. We have to. You have to.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Because
have to. That's,
it's a form of communication. And
yeah,
like you said, like you had a good one right there. You said, they don't. It's tough to talk, but talking is almost like it's like I always say it's like shooting a jump shot, right? You got to practice it,
that's it.
right? So if the coaches just make a point to have their athletes communicate,
Mhm.
right? I think that helps the better all of the team because where it gets tricky and where our job as basketball coaches gets harder.
Yeah.
I could work on my individual skill as much as possible. I could feel like I'm getting better. I could dribble the ball faster, right? I could maybe shoot, take more shots, make more threes. I could feel like I'm getting good.
Mhm.
But it's a five-man game, right?
Yeah.
So now with in a world where it's outside in, athletes are getting so many reps at offense and not a lot of reps at defense because a lot of the times everybody's working on their skill by themselves.
Mhm.
That team environment is not there. Like, yo, we used to go to the park. You know what I mean? We used to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
play in
yeah,
the park. We
yeah,
used to
yeah.
go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We used
go
to go
there.
out
Yeah,
and play in the park. But now you're in an environment where, like you said, physical contact, it's not I'm not really there.
yeah,
Uh, I haven't I don't know how it is to talk with people as much as possible now because now I'm on my phone a little bit more, right?
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
doing it,
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
different.
almost like it's a mentality that you almost have to shift,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I want to ask you this: all of your defensive teams,
Hmm.
your great defensive teams that you can think about, right? What did they all have in common?
One of my best defense teams that I had, what they all have in common was a. It's going to be silly what I'm going to say, but
Go, hit me.
what they have in common is that they were ready to walk through fire all together all the time. And somebody told me that once.
Ooh.
Somebody told me that once. He said, I don't know how you do it, bro. He said, when I look at girls, they're ready to walk into fire for you and the team. It's like
Yes.
that's like, and I was realizing it as like that's the year we lost in the final championship against Saint Laurent that year.
Yeah.
It was my best team that I had because usually we get pride on being the best defense team of the league. Usually,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
It's rare that I have the best offensive team of the league. I have a good team offensively, but defensively we usually always are the best. Like this year,
Uh-huh.
I think the most offensive team in the year, and I
Yeah.
was like the third place defensive. And I thought
Yeah.
it's rare that happens to me, but
Yeah.
in the provincial we were so clutch
Yeah.
and we were so determined to win that provincial that
Yeah.
when we lost all our energy in that semifinals. When we got in the finals, we had no more legs.
Yeah.
The girls wanted to run. I
Yeah.
could see they wanted, but the body just cannot answer
Just
what
couldn't
they
keep
wanted
it.
to do.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. So
but it was hard. But walk through fire. That
yeah. So
that's the thing that's in my head.
so okay. So this is good because if you get to somewhere in September, you have your team in September,
Mhm.
right? And let's say you have a brand new team. How do you get them to walk through fire together? How do you get them to that point where they're like, yo, I trust you, coach. I trust my players. Hey, let's do this. How do you get them to that point? What do you do?
The most thing I do on the most thing, I always talk with my players. I don't make the decisions. They make the decisions at the beginning of seasons. And we always talk about where we're going, what we want to do, what is our objective, what is a long term, what is the short term objective that we want to do. But at the end, when they tell me the long terms, when they want that, me, I know what I'm going to say.
You know what you're going to say,
bring
yeah.
it to what I want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay,
Mm.
so if you want to win, if you want to do you think defensive rep will be as much as important as the offensive rep? And they always tell me, yeah, but we need to be more skillful to shoot, to score. I say, okay, that's good. But the defensive rep, if you tell me that we play a lot of offense, do we play a lot of defense also? And they're like, yeah. So defense is important.
Mm-hmm.
So if I score 100 points, the other team scored 101, do we lost? Yeah. So we need them to stop them to make less points.
Yeah.
Our mentality when I talk with them is always to keep a team under 40 points. It's like we need to keep a team on 40 points. A lot of coaches are doing that.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches are doing that 40 points. We need to win. We need at least to do 60 points to win a game. So, you know, depend on the girl, the woman team, depend on what kind of team you have. But the mentality that I'm trying to bring up when we build up our defense is always talking about what is our identity, where we're from, what is who we want. And when it's a brand new team, like this year, I have like half and half. I have like 5-6 years that I was there, and most of the team were brand new.
Brand new, yeah.
So you have to come and I have to sell them that, we always say that great word like offensive bring people, but defensive bring championships.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The crowd always going to come for the offense.
Yeah.
If you want to win a championship, you need some defense. So that's what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking to them through the season, I make them understand that when our offense doesn't work, we have control on our defense. And our defense can bring our offense. So it's more the years starting to come around November. We'll all do our exhibition games and everything. Now they're starting to know where we're going. Now they're starting to know where I'm building. And I'm always talking about that. So I'm always saying, hey, I'm not talking about, hey, she did 20 points, she did 30 points. Beginning of season, when I do the way I do my stats, I'm going with plus and minus.
Yeah.
I'm always doing plus and minus. So the way I work when I do that, they finish the game, you finish with plus 16, you finish with 11. Why? You finish with, did you did rebounds? Rebounds for me is points. Also for me is points. Deflection is points. All those stuff is giving me points. So that's why I work with them. And from there, when we finish our exhibition games, and after that, I'm starting with the real stats. Now I'm talking about stats. If you play 20, how come you didn't have 10 rebounds, 5 rebounds if you play in 20 minutes? Cannot play 20 minutes and have 1 rebound? Cannot play 20 minutes and have no fouls?
Yeah, that's
that kind of stuff that's the way I built slowly my team to go to the defense.
That's interesting because like you're rewarding them a stat that is not necessarily on the stat sheet, right?
Exactly.
So now they kind of start believing, that because if you don't even focus on the stats, and you focus on deflection, diving for loose ball, and all those things, right? And then they realize, every time we had a high number in those, we win.
That's it.
It might be easy for them to just buy into that.
That's right. That's the way I'm always trying to work with them. Through the years, that's the way I found it. It's like, because before I said, we have to be good defense, we have to be good defense. But kids now, most of the time, the athletes now, they need proof. You cannot do anything. It's like, it's not working, coach. I did it yesterday. Yeah, but it's not about yesterday. It's about creativity. How long we're going to do it. How many times we're going to do it. It's about reps. It's about confidence. It's about creating something that we're like, okay, now we know what we're doing, that we're going to do. And now I'm starting believing. But they need to see all the time. That's the hardest part of coaching. The hardest part of coaching is to make them believe that it works, but it's not going to work today. That's the bigger problem. That's the bigger problem right there.
So, but wow. Okay. So, but that wasn't something that you used to do before.
No.
Right. It kind of.
I was trying to figure out how I can involve them more on what defense is about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To make them understand that offense it's great, but we need defense.
Yeah.
And how we need defense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to how I can put it in place to make them understand that it's more not only important, but it's really important because if we cannot make stops when we need to make the stops,
we need
win
stops. Yeah,
games, you know.
yeah. So wow. Okay. So, coach, let me ask you this: what are some ways that you think coaches can empower their players? Like, just make them feel like they belong to this team, or just kind of give them a voice. Because a lot of the things that I'm hearing you talk about are just ways, because if, let's say, I'm not a good offensive player, right? You're putting numbers on stats that are not necessarily offensive stats.
Yeah.
So me, as a less skilled person, I'm starting to believe that I can be a part of this team, that I can have a value to it, right?
Yeah.
So what are some other ways that you have found that work with players?
To give them roles. Some people don't like to have roles. It works. It doesn't work for everybody. I got some players on my team. I give them roles. They're like,
roles.
So, hey, what is my role? So sometimes I said, I'm trying to. I'm asking, what do you think you can do? Because I don't need everybody to score. I'm straight to the point when I talk with them. They know. You know what I'm saying? They know who's scoring.
Yeah.
Who's the best
They don't score. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, you can score. No. They know already. But I'm not gonna say they can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling them that everybody can score in the team. But I need somebody to do something else that somebody's not doing in the team. And I got some players like this year, I told them like, I need to be great in defense. It's like I told them sometimes I talk to them like individually. But to the team, I need somebody to be great in defense. I talk to the team first. When I need somebody to be great on defense, because there will always be a place for you and my team on defense. Always be a place for you on the floor on defense, and that's what I do all the time. So sometimes they work on practice. I work hard, coach. I don't understand why you don't put me in, because you work hard on defense. It doesn't mean that you work hard that you will have the time. That's what I'm telling you. Working hard will not give you time on the floor. Working hard and having result will make you on the floor. Because sometimes you can work hard, but you don't work hard the right way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they come to practice, oh, coach, I'm hard because they're sweating and they do some up and downs. You did good defense.
Yeah.
Were you in a nice position? Were you in a nice place? Did you see the ball? Did you see the player? What did you do after the action? After the pass? Did you relax? Or you bump in somebody? You know? That's the kind of stuff that I need from them. And that's why I understand that working hard is not enough. You have to do more than just working hard. And sometimes you're going to work hard, you're going to do everything you need to do, but somebody's better than you. So you need to target somebody that will do your job and you want to take his job. And that's the hardest thing to do, because sometimes they get discouraged. They don't want, it's like, oh, coach, you asked me to do this. I'm working hard. I'm trying to get his place, but she's too good. He's too good. But if that is your mindset, I'm sorry, you will never have her place or his place. You need to try to do something else. And maybe if you try, I'm like, yo, he's working so hard. Let me try this in this game to see what's going to happen. I always try to tell them that don't look the minute you don't have. Use the minute you have.
Use the minute you have.
1 minute, you go in the court, give me that minute that I need. And maybe I give you 5 after that. Maybe I give you 3. I don't know. But you need to be working with the minute that you have. That's my speech. I always tell them. It's like, worry about the minute you have. I give you 5. Show me you can do 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's like changing their mindset.
Don't tell me that you're not happy that you don't have 10 minutes.
You
know, it's like, so when I'm going there with them and talk about them, it's more about like, when you go there, I need you to give me everything you got. That's it. I don't need you to score. I need you to make the nice pass. I don't need you to need the 10 blocks. I just need you to be involved. That's why we come back to what I need is to be involved. So if you're involved, you're physical, you'll learn quick. I'll be able to coach you. In that sequence, I need you to do this more. In that sequence, you didn't do this. I need you to do this now. In that sequence, you try this. It's not bad, but I rather this. So this way I can coach. But if you don't do nothing, how you want me to coach you? See, that's how I try to get them involved. And once they're there, they see that, okay, I'm going to starting 5, but I don't score. I don't pass really well. So why I'm there? You're there because you have energy.
You have energy.
And you're taking away 20 points from the other team.
Yeah.
So when they hear that, somebody else said, "Oh shit, she's there because she's taking. I want to take 20 points off too.
Yeah.
If there's a way I can be there, I'm going to try to be there because when she's
Yeah.
tired, maybe I'm next. So so that's why I'm
And you
trying to
could
balance more that I can.
and you could always control your effort.
Yes, because
Yeah.
that's the only you can control. Like like the best way is when the game was over in semifinals. It's crazy, but it was at the end of the season. But sometimes they don't see it right away. But at the end of the season, they started to understand what I meant.
Yeah.
It's like, girls, we couldn't score. We were losing like 3-9 in the
Yeah.
semifinals, the provincials. And we get back to that game. We grind, losing by 24. But
Yeah.
it wasn't our offense who bring us there. It's our defense. And what our defense would create offense.
Yeah.
From transition, from press, from zone press. And that's how we came back. And they start believing and say, okay. And I never saw my girls talk that much. Everybody was talking. Everybody was bumping. Everybody was thinking what's going on. I was like, I had chills. I was like, oh my God. I was waiting for this all year.
It's always nice when you get those moments.
no, it was nice to see. It was nice.
Yeah. So I wanted to shift into a little bit more like tactical talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're teaching defense, right? One-on-one defense, what is one thing you look at and you're telling the players that they have to do?
Two things we're talking about. We're talking about to be on the ball. We like to. I work a lot with the hands, and the thing is, here in Quebec, some referees like you cannot handshake.
You can't hand, yeah.
And when we go somewhere else, we can handshake. So we need to adapt, always to adjust with the referees. But most of the time, we're aggressive on the ball. And when the player stops, we always take out the space. So to me, like, you cannot get beat. Cannot beat on the first dribble. That's one of the things we're talking about. Never get beat on the first dribble, which happens often. Anyway, but that's the rules. That's the rules. That's the we're working, working hard on this, and not get beat on the first dribble. So the first all the time. But usually, I'm trying to get the player in front of me to keep them in front. I don't like to give them side. I don't give a left or right side, or I'm trying to bring them to the left most of the time. But that's what we do. But when we have a left player, lefty, we fight it right away because it's more quicker. But usually, keep the player in front of you. Be square to the ball. Don't get beat in the first step. And when he's dead, we need to take the space. That's what I'm teaching in the beginning.
Yeah, take away the space. Yeah, So players off the ball, what is it that they look to do? Are you denying? Are you more in the gaps? Like, what are you?
I'm more in the gap. I'm more in the gaps. It's sad, but sometimes we play a lot of teams that can't shoot. So I will give them the opportunity to get in easily in the paint. We don't keep the paint. And when we play against teams that we have maybe one player, so we're lucky it's a one or two player that shoots, but we still play the gap closer to the player, or sometimes it's no help. You shoot so much, no help. We stay on the defender, on the offensive player all the time. So it depends. We adjust with the game. With the game we adjust. But mostly, usually, or generally when we play, we're always in the gap. We anticipate the first pass. So we always try to make them go to the second and third options. We always try to cut options all the time. So this way, when the player away from the ball, we're simply always waiting for that steal, that deflection, that to be involved in cutting the pass. So we're always trying to cut the first option. So each time when we're scouting the games, we're looking at the offense, how they play. Okay, this is their first options. Okay, we're taking away the first option right away. I don't even care about the other options. It's like the first options. I want them because most of the team are not used to play to their second or third options.
Second or third options.
So I'm trying to do the most of the time to bring them to the second and third options. Maybe most of the coaches are doing the same thing. I don't know. But me, that's the way it works. Most of the time when we play defense, okay, this is their first options. This is a two-go girl. This is a two-go guy. So we're trying to make the ball less in his hands, or sometimes we know that this player is better than us. So he's gonna make his points, but nobody else is gonna score.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Or sometimes she's not gonna score, and we leave the other one scores. Today you're not gonna make 20 points. The rest of the team have to be better if you want to win that game. So that depends of what kind of player. Is it an inside player, or is it an outside player? Are we weaker outside, or we're stronger inside? So we try. Depends.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that's the way we work.
So when you scout your opponents, are you scouting more the actions? Are you scouting more tendencies that players have with each other? Are you scouting more personnel? Like
Where I work
what do
is
you do?
like I'm scouting. Of course, we're scouting what is the team is doing first, and I always go breaking down to the players after that. So I know you're the best player. You make 20 points. You cannot make 20 points against me today. And this player, we're gonna watch his tendency, what she's doing, how she works, from how she scores. And
Mm-hmm.
when the player is that's usually
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 3 players that have an assignment on a player. I never make
Yeah.
just one player play them. I always make
Yeah.
minimum 2 players have an assignment. So when I make my subs, they switch and
Uh
they know who they're gonna what is their matchup.
right.
Most of my players knows their matchup because when I send them to do the way I scout is like me, I make the scouting, I do everything. But before I show them to the girls, they have to go scout the game. So they have a paper how they scout. I always ask them, which is the starting five? Where are the best players coming off the bench? And from there, what is their tendency? What they do? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what is the best rebounder? Who is the best defender? So when we do our plays and we know if we do screens, but we need to screen that girl because we need her
Right.
face to be free. So that's all the little things they do. So from there, then they know what is the tendency of the team. You know what they're doing,
Right.
what is
Right.
they doing in offense, what they doing in defense. They all have to do that when they're watching the
Yeah.
game. And after
Yeah.
that, me, I make a breakdown around 15 minutes where okay, I did everything. So I asked them first what they do, and after that, I said, here's the paper. You know, and from there, here's what I see. Good job. You saw that girl. You missed this one. You missed this. You missed that. Or this is good. Or sometimes I don't even see something they saw before me.
They see it
But
for you, yeah.
yeah, they said they
That's
see it
that
before me. It's like that's what I love because once
yeah, I love
they're
that
in
too,
there,
yeah.
that's mean they're really taking the time. You know, sometimes you're going, hey, coach, I see the out of bounds. This is what they do. The out of bounds. Oh my God, you went to the out of bounds. That's nice.
Yeah.
For that, and
Yeah.
sometimes you go through that. So some of theirs are developing more their games because to me, showing them um, routes and things to do all the time, they won't evolve. So they need to see how the game works, and I need them to meet reads. So to make reads, you need to understand the game. To understand the game, you need to see some games. You
Yeah.
know, it's a big fight because your girls you need to watch the game. Watch game get a wood. Sometimes I don't tell them what game to watch because I want to
Mm-hmm.
see if they're playing like a team that's like ranking 8 and the team they play a ranking 3. Sometimes they go watch the game 2 against 8. Why? It's a blowout.
Right.
Finished by
Right.
7. What did we learn in
Right.
that game? Nothing.
Right. 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 Right.
So,
Right.
so
Right.
sometimes I don't say nothing, and they were like, "Oh, we watched that game." Okay, I know, but we're gonna play this team, and they play that team. You could have watched this
Mm-hmm.
game and watched both teams at the same time and learn
Yeah.
more. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, coach. Oh yeah, you're right. Nah, I didn't watch that game. So
Yeah.
trying to make at the
I'm a,
beginning of the season, trying to make them understand what kind of game,
yeah.
what they're watching, and why they're doing it. You know,
Yeah.
that's the
So
hardest part.
so I'm gonna give you like a bit of like a theoretical because I'm thinking about what you're saying. So if let's say what is the hardest um what's the hardest thing to scout when you're scouting like a team? What's the hardest thing?
I would say because some offensive people are not clear. So
Right. Like the
some offenses are
freedom.
not clear. There's
The
so much
freedom.
freedom,
The freedom is hard to grant.
and
Yeah.
it's hard to scout. The freedom is hard to scout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some
Yeah.
of them it's they make like that. Some of them is like, oh, we just pass cut,
That's good.
and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay. After what do you do after that?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
see what they're doing. Some of
Yeah.
them are clear because some of them they just run fast break. You know, they run the fast break. If nothing happened, they just pass cut and they go in their transition and they go back in defense.
Yeah.
That's hard to scout when you don't know what you're scouting because you try to
Yeah.
understand what's going on, but it's hard to scout because to me nothing's going on. So I'm just like, okay, so when that happens, I'm just scouting the player. What is
Yeah.
it? So what do you
Right.
do? What is their action? What is a go?
Right.
What is our to go move? The to go move
Mm-hmm.
like oh,
Yeah.
up, she fakes, then she drive. Okay, so hey
So
girls,
I'm
she's gonna
sitting on
fake,
the
she's gonna
jet,
drive,
fake and
gonna
drive.
fake,
Yeah.
gonna drive. So once she do her
Yeah.
first fake, you just stand there, and then she's gonna drive. Boom, you just step in front of her. You know, it's like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I make them look the player, what kind of player. Sometimes I just tell them who do you think you will match? Who do you think is your matchup? I don't always tell them what is their matchup because I want to see if they can understand what kind of matchup they can have.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
one of the aspects of the beginning. And sometimes I'm curious and asking why you think this is your matchup.
Yeah.
Because I'm not quick enough. I know I can. If I take her, I'll be able to stay in front of her. Okay. That's the only reason. Sometimes I'm trying to understand what is the reason behind their thinking when I told them who is your matchup. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes they're on point. Sometimes they're not. And sometimes I say, okay, she's quicker than you, but you're more physical, so you can have her. Just give her like 1.5 step. You don't have to give one arm at a time. Just give her a little more space. And once she try to beat you, bump her a lot. Be physical. So the type of thing that I'm trying to do with them.
What's the hardest thing? Like, okay, so let me ask you this. In terms of a player, right? Is it harder to prepare against a dominant point guard, or is it harder to prepare against a dominant big man? And you could take me how you would guard both.
I think
let's start with the guard.
Well, the hardest one, I think the hardest one is the guard.
Okay.
Because the guard have so many options. When you have a dominant guard, sometimes you say, "Oh, I'm going to double her." Okay, you can double her, but she can pass the ball a game. She can create for everybody. When you have that guard, that like my young guard I have in my team, her name is Valerie. She's one of the brightest guard that I had for a long time. She have two hands. She can pass the ball off the dribble. She doesn't need to look at you to see where you're going. Sometimes my players like, "Oh shit, she passed me the ball," So when she got double, she just step back and find the people that open. She doesn't try to do it by herself, And if she cannot go to the rack, she will shoot that ball. So we screen her to make her go away. So when you start to make screen to free her, and she can create her own space to shoot. So when you have a guard that can create her own space to shoot, have both hands, that's almost a press break by herself. It's hard. So that's why to me sometimes a point guard is harder to check than the big man. Like I had MJ, that was the Canadian player. One girl, 15 years old, 6'1", can dribble like a guard, can post move, have finishes to the basket. She can play back to the basket. She can play in front of the basket. She can play outside, she can play inside. So she's really hard to guard. But her weakness was physical. So once you get really physical with her, she didn't like it. So when the teams were playing against us, it was a mind fight we and her. It's like in the game, don't get mad. But that's the thing that you need to work on as a star player. When you're a star player and people knows how to hit the right button, buttons, get it out of the game. That's what you need to work on. So when you're working against a post like her, I say a post, but it's a stretch big. You know what I'm saying?
She does everything. She does everything.
She does everything.
I seen her. She could move. She could move.
She moves like a guard. A little bit. She's not a point guard, but she can move like a guard. So when you have that kind of player, it's hard to check her inside because first of all, she's 6'1", and you don't have a lot of 6'1" in Quebec. So when you play her, you need to try to make her go outside. But when she go outside, she needs 1 or 2 dribbles to beat you. It's good for her.
It's good.
She draw fouls. So yes, a big man that's only play inside, to me, it's easier to guard than the best. So you can double her. You can make her go outside. You can make her shoot more the ball because maybe she's not in a comfort zone shooting the ball. So that's why I said to me, the guard is harder. When the guard is really good, it's hard. It's harder.
It is. Okay. So when you go into a game and you have, let's say, your game plan, right? What are some things that make you decide, hey, we have to make our adjustment? Because obviously you have your plan, right? But then what happens in the game that makes you be like, okay, we got to switch this. Okay, we might have to change this. We might have to, adjust this way.
It's more the flow of the game. It's more the flow. Oh, we're ahead. Sometimes I'm leading the game and I change something. Because
why is that?
If we're too tired, because sometimes we go hard, like we up like 15 points in like 4 minutes, and I can see the girl coming back to the room. So we're not gonna press now. We need to play like 3/4 defense. We may gonna go in the zone defense for a while,
right.
Just to take the breather back or have fall problems. You know,
Right.
sometimes there's some fouls that you need to make that adjustment because you want to keep that player on the floor. So
Yeah.
so there's this kind of adjustment that sometimes I have to make during the game. It's a lot about the flow, the fouls, and how the
Yeah.
players are responding to the game. Are they tired and not
Yeah.
tired? How
Yeah.
kind of player, how kind of defense the other team playing? Because sometimes the team needs you to play fast,
Right.
and I don't want to play fast all the time. I'm not trying to have the tempo, but they're pressing me, giving pressure all the time, giving pressure. So the pressure with the press break make you go faster, and the game goes faster. So you mean you have more time to play, and to have more pace. So if the game is longer with a fast paced, you're getting tired earlier. If you get tired earlier, you need to make some adjustment. You cannot just say,
Right.
oh, "This is what I was doing. I'm keeping this, and I don't care." At the end of the
Right.
game, your players so tired making fouls. You cannot
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
they're less aware of what's going on because they're too tired. And sometimes your bench is not that as deep as they were the year before or during the game. So there's a lot of situation that makes that you have to make that adjustment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very interesting because I'm hearing you talk, and it's like you're not afraid to kind of make those adjustments, whether you're up, whether you guys are on a run, or whether you're down. But do you sometimes feel like making an adjustment when you're up can kind of mess up that flow and allow the other team to maybe come back? So how do you balance that out? How do you?
It does happen. It did happen to me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
did happen to me. Sometimes you need to change something. You said, "Oh, it's going well," and sometimes even the player look at you like, oh, "Coach, everything was going well. Why did you make that change?"
Yeah,
You
true,
look at the
true.
players like, "Because I'm the coach." No, but
Yeah.
somebody say that because I'm the coach, But in your head, it's
Yeah.
like, I need to make that change because something's going wrong, and you see that something's going wrong. But sometimes you need to make the thing go wrong happen. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
sometimes you're so you're like, I don't know. It's a split
Yeah.
decision, it's a quick game. So sometimes you have like 10 seconds to decide what you're doing. Do I keep her? Do I don't keep her? Everything's going well.
Yeah.
Two fouls. Should I keep her
Yeah.
out because the referee is kind of shaky today? Everything is a foul.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
make that sub, and then oh shit, another thing
Yeah.
happens. You
Yeah.
with that timeout,
That's
you talk back, and then you bring the player back, and sometimes the
yeah.
player is out of the game, make another foul. So at the long run, maybe you come back to the game, but at that short moment, it's hard.
Uh-huh. It's so funny that you're saying that because like I think like for me, one of the biggest thing that I saw, when I started coaching, I was a lot of, okay, I'm gonna make the players, I have an idea, and I'm gonna make the players believe in my idea. And then afterwards they're gonna go out and execute. But a lot of the times I noticed that sometimes if one player doubts
Mhm.
my decision as a coach, or one player doubts what the team is,
Mhm.
you're better off staying with what's working.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
true.
know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
1 second of doubt. So a lot of the times I think that's where what you said about being able to build a relationship with the players and everything comes, because I think like in those situations you can even ask the players, yo, what do you guys see out there? And now
Oh,
they start coming up with the
yeah, yeah.
solutions.
True. Because
That's big.
the thing is, like you said, sometimes I ask the players, it's like,
Yeah,
I was, it
yeah,
happens
yeah,
frequently, happens to me frequently.
yeah,
Like,
yep. And you know what's crazy?
literally just there, it happens to me this year
You
again,
know what's crazy about that is
Mhm,
a lot of the times if I have an idea in my head, right?
mhm,
If I ask the players something else and they say something,
mhm,
that idea that the players have
mhm,
has a better percentage chance of working than what I had in my head.
for sure.
Because the 5 players on the court are the one that are going to execute it. So
Exactly.
as a coach, if they doubt it and they think their idea is better, guess
Mhm.
what? They're gonna make sure that your idea doesn't work.
That can happen sometimes.
Yeah,
It does happen
yeah.
because sometimes I'm like, with experience, I
Uh-huh.
learn to ask. Sometimes,
Right,
sometimes tight
right.
things is there. I have an idea, but I'm like, let's do this. And sometimes the girl says, no, 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 coach, I think we should do this. I'm like, no, we're not gonna. I'm gonna do what I'm saying. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Sometimes
And
it
when it
doesn't, yeah.
doesn't work, that's where you start to reflect. What did they?
Yeah,
Okay, what did they saw that I didn't see?
yeah,
I'm saying, and if you do that, that's how you start to be a better coach.
yeah,
Because if you don't do that reflection, and you just said, "Oh no, you just got lucky. It should have worked. I always done that before it did work." It's not that.
yeah.
Because me, the first time that happened to me, The first time I
Uh-huh.
was still a young coach. I was like maybe like 26, something like that.
Yeah.
A player, grade 8, provincial,
Yeah.
semifinal,
Yeah.
telling me,
Okay.
coach, we should do this. I'm looking at her, you 13 years old. What are you going to tell me to do? This is good what I'm doing right now. Say, yeah, but we keep doing this. This is the press we keep doing. It's working. Our 2-2-1 is working, coach. Don't change our 2-2-1. I said, okay, you guys are playing. Go do your 2-2-1. And we won that game. And when they came back, they were so proud. And I said, yo, good job. Good job, Malika.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a good decision right there. Team
Yeah.
captain, she just said, no, we're sticking with this one. We don't gonna change it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
scored. Hey, she's 13 years old. It's her
Yeah, I
first
know.
provincial appearance. She just came to me and said, yo, coach, no, everything is working. Yeah, they're scoring, but we're still gonna make it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
believe in themselves. So they believe in that. So I give it. Same thing, semifinal this year. We have less of 10 minutes. I'm telling the girls, like, okay, the girls, we're gonna play. I think I'm meant to make full court right now. I said, no, coach. We're good with the zone. We're good with the zone, coach.
Yeah.
I said, okay, you want to play man or zone? Zone. Okay. They went back to the zone and they didn't score. We won the game.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
the
what I'm saying? It's like
belief. They
that's
just went
the
out there.
thing that sometimes when your players believe in something,
They just
stick with them. You know,
you have
maybe
to.
you're gonna win, maybe you're gonna lose, but
You
you're gonna
have
win
to.
something anyway. It's not
Yeah.
a win-lose. It's gonna be a win-win situation. That's
Yeah.
to my
Oh.
experience. To my
Yeah.
experience, it's a win-win situation
Uh
because you show the girls that you believe in them like they believe in you when you ask them to do something. You know,
holy.
that's the thing. I always keep in mind, like the players,
Mm.
like you said, they're the one who playing. Sometimes I may see something, but they're not feeling that as a comfort to do it. You know, it's like they're like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel it, coach. This I feel though. We've been doing this and this I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Then go for it. You know what I'm saying? We're a team. It's not a part of. It's not about be about me. It's about us. If
Yeah.
you see something you don't see something, most of them see something. They're gonna play. Like you said, they're gonna the one going to execute. So why would I be going against that? You know what I'm saying? Even though
Yeah.
sometimes you feel like, oh, you know,
Yeah. You
yo,
gotta let go
I
of the
got you,
ego.
girls. Like you
Yeah, the
got me when
ego.
I needed you to do things like this and like that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
And when they saw that, there's no way you lose because you believe it
Yeah.
so hard that if they make it, yes. They don't make it, you're
Oh,
like, yo, that was a good decision
it was
anyway.
a good decision
Because that's
anyway.
what you felt, you know?
And you guys came up with the solution together. I think that's
That's
the
it.
biggest thing, right?
That's the
Because
biggest thing.
it's team sports.
That's it.
Wow. This was great. This was great. I'm gonna finish off with a scenario. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time. I really, really, really appreciate you taking the time.
I really fun talking with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm giving you a scenario. You're up 3 with 10 seconds left on the clock. Both teams are in the bonus. Are you fouling or are you playing your defense out? Your team is on defense.
My team is on defense, 10 seconds, and I'm up.
Yeah.
I'm playing defense.
You're playing defense?
I'm
You're
playing
trusting. You're playing
always
defense.
trust me. I'm not gonna foul because to me, if I fall, I stop time. I give more time to the school. They go back to the line. If they make those two, I'm down 1, I'm up 1, and then if we make that mistake, usually that mistake can come.
Yeah.
Then they make another foul, something like that. They go back, they make 2. Now they're up 1, and then I have to take a timeout. Then go back, try to
Right.
make a score.
Yeah.
To me, my defense is the best way to do it. And like I told you, like I'll go with my defense all the time, almost all the time, because it's rare. I need to see a team like they barely made a free throw during the game to foul. Even though to give them that chance to go that foul line, we never know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can miss all game and those 2 free throws you make it in and make us in trouble.
Yeah.
To me, so it's gonna be all about defense. Now, the kind of defense I will play.
Yeah, that's
the
something
kind
else.
of defense that would be the moment. You know, like maybe it will be a zone, maybe it will be a man, maybe it will be like a double, no switch. You know what I'm saying? But I have confidence in my defense. It's like I told you, I'm a defensive guy, so that's where I will go. That's for
sure. Coach, thank you. Closing remarks, anything you have adding for young coaches who are listening in terms of defense or just in general? Any final thought that you have?
To me,
and also, sorry to cut you off. And also, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on my Instagram. I got Coach W. I do some workouts and everything. So on Coach W, you can see all following me and everything for courses or even for coaching tips. I put some drills on there that night.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much where you can find me. I don't do no Facebook. I do Instagram. That's enough.
Yeah,
Too many media to share to
yeah,
yeah. So the Instagram is my thing right now. I know all the kids on Instagram is good, so I go on the
yeah,
Instagram by the Coach
yeah,
W.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
I appreciate you, my friend. Just thank you for everything you're doing for the basketball community. It's really inspiring, and I encourage people to go watch your Instagram because I think like the what I get when I go on your Instagram, it's more than basketball because I kind of like I'm able to see these athletes that you have on your page and
mhm.
I see them kind of grow and just be attached to not just the sport but just the experience of being around others, and I find that very interesting. So you're doing great for the game. So again, I appreciate you, coach, and just thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I mean,